For those of you who have friends or cannot come in person, please remember that we post these live streams. Usually it takes about a day for me to get them processed, but they are on the Pyramid Science Foundation YouTube page. So if you or friends want to watch it, feel free to go there if you can't attend in person. The foundation did put in a grant application, initial grant application for $2 million to get immune function research started with Dr. Patel from the University of California, San Diego. He's the individual who's doing similar research on improvements in immune function due to meditation. So, we're looking forward to getting some kind of response there. And then finally, I just this morning signed a contract to have the website finished up. Those of you know, we've been waiting way too long for that, and we finally had to hire somebody new this week, and it's under control. And I expect that we will be able to, we've got specific timelines for the things that you all may be most interested in, such as getting the healer page up on the website, as well as the affiliate program. So anyway, we are making progress on all those fronts. So, okay. Lisa, you want to do your?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to give everybody an update on the plant experiment. Mine have been in the pyramid since August 14th, or no, I started them on August 11th. It was a Wednesday, so they've been in there about a week and a half. The one that is doing the best is the one that has been sitting underneath my chair, underneath my meditation chair, right in the center of my Stargate Pyramid. I have one also sitting on my chair itself, and then I have the control one sitting outside. So the control plant, these are the plants that I'm using. So this is the control, and I actually have a wooden dowel in there that I just measure the tip of the leaf and then take that measurement every week. So that seems to work really good. So the control plant right now for total millimeters in growth is 13. The one that's sitting on my chair inside the meditation pyramid, the Stargate Pyramid, is 15 millimeters. But the one that's been underneath my chair is actually 24 millimeters in height. It's grown 24 millimeters. So that's a huge difference compared to the control of 13. This one is 24. And it's a little skinnier, lankier plant, but it is, it's really sprouting up. And my cat beats it up every day too. So
wow, that's
putting up
pretty
with
impressive.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. After a week and a half, that's pretty good. I think what I might try this week is charging the water in the pyramid before I water them and see how that affects it at all. Instead of just watering them and then letting them sit there, I'll charge the water first, and that might be something I want to try. Does anybody else have results to share at all?
I don't have numbers, but I was telling Charlie that I've realized, and this is distance too, written on a piece of paper, that you can actually put organs down. Like I do a series of organs like heart, kidney, pancreas, obviously for some issues in this household, and then measure, putting it in the pyramid before and after. And I'm compiling the results now. And I also recently added blood pressure and morning glucose. So it's pretty amazing and consistently rising in a good way, not numbers rising in a bad way, but
right.
Yeah.
It or going up. So it never occurred to me that I could put organs in, like my pancreas, etc. So
right.
Yeah.
Sherry, do you have a caduceus coil?
Yes, up there. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could find the frequencies that benefit those organs as well, and play those frequencies while you're working on that certain organ. So I might actually try that with the plants this week too, running the caduceus coil in there and seeing the difference in the growth.
Cool. I met a person this weekend who has old CDs of every chakra, every organ with the proper hertz, and she doesn't use them anymore. So
Wow.
since they're CDs, I said, oh, well,
Oh,
perhaps I could
Oops.
buy them. So
yeah, they're going to be much better frequency than the ones you get digitally.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because some of
So
the digital ones you get, the frequencies are missing a bit. They're
yeah,
kind of skipping. Yeah. So those will
yeah,
be a more pure frequency through the DVD or the CD.
yeah,
Nice.
Fantastic. Yeah.
yeah. Wonderful.
Well, before are you ready to begin, Sherry?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Anytime you are. How many do we have?
We
Just
have
have
18 at this point.
that's great.
Okay.
Okay.
So before we start, I just want to give a 1-minute summary for those who were on last week. We did a lot of energy testing. I did a 15-minute video on this wrap up last week, but the whole purpose of this session today, that Sherry's going to be teaching us some techniques to try to get these high life force energies that we get inside the pyramid to stay with us as we get outside. But I just wanted to show for those of you who either weren't here last week or didn't remember all of the results. My base case outside the pyramid was 35,000 on the Bovis Life Force energy scale. When I sat inside the pyramid, up to 10 million, using the coil, using 528, just played on my cell phone, raised it tenfold to 100 million. Then when I used that and played that inside or with the caduceus coil, went up to 1 billion, went up actually as high as 10 billion when we played 3 solfeggio frequencies at once. So the life force energy increases are just phenomenal. What I would love to find out though is how can I get that 35,000 to keep going up more and more as time goes on when I'm outside the pyramid. In other words, how can we retain that higher life force energy? And that's what Sherry's here to talk to us about today. So I'm going to stop there and turn it over to Sherry. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. As I'm sitting in my pyramid, I think you remember that I said I live in Sweden and all over my property are vortexes, power points. And so my cats love to lay on them, and inside the pyramid, which is right on top of a vortex, is 100 billion to start with. So that's why it feels so good. And when people go out of it, they actually feel drunk with the energy. And one friend sat in it and she wobbled out and she said, oh my God, I have a 5-hour drive ahead of me to get across Sweden. Maybe it'll only take me an hour now. That was Cecilia. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty magic. So today I'm going to talk about some ways that I have learned to keep your vibration high. And some of them are just, I know you've heard of them. They're simple. We'll sort of whiz through those. But then I have a meditation and a healing combined with it that we'll all do together. So first of all, obviously, drinking lots of water to detox your body. Mm-hmm. And in our home, we take zeolite for nanoparticles, and we take chlorella. That takes away the toxic elements in the cellular structure. But you have to be a little careful with chlorella, although it's an algae and a natural product, but you have to be careful because it can, if you've got a lot of stuff, it can really upset you as you're trying to release and flush your body. So just take that with a grain of salt. Start light and work up. Also, one thing I always recommend for my clients that have had a particularly powerful healing for whatever they have up to be healed are apple cider vinegar baths, and to drink apple cider vinegar or lemon water every morning. And that keeps you flushed. And doing meditation every day, asking for what you need to know and waiting and feeling into whether your head feels empty. That's often a goal that I look for. Like if there's no activity going, if I'm in my heart and there's no activity going in my head, of course, I don't want to be brain dead, but I don't mean that. But no thoughts. It's just calm and relaxed. By the way, I'm playing 528 hertz music as I sit here and do this. This is one that I've been doing a long time. It's being aware of gratefulness. I actually, when I was on Öland, on the beach, there are rocks everywhere. I'm going to hold this up close, that are flat and smooth, and they're absolutely lovely to work in your fingers. And then I put the gratitude symbol on them, and I give them out to people who come for healing. So just be aware, like if something is beautiful around you, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that you breathe in the morning. Acknowledge that you have food on the table. My man and I do something every time we eat together. We put our left hand up, our right hand down, and hold each other, and we hum a tone through our body, whatever the body wants to sing out, and not being scared of sounding off because it always blends. And then we say what we're grateful for out loud to the universe. Now, we did this, I said I was just on Öland, and I met 5 new people that I hadn't met before. And we did this together, and everybody was brave enough to sing their own tone with their own body. And it was so beautiful. They were all different, 7 different tones, and it was just magnificent. And people acknowledged that when we went around and said what we were grateful for. So it really works, keeps you up, not down. Of course, walk, meditate, do the pyramid barefoot, because Mother Earth has a natural electrical current that keeps us, and an electrical or a vibration that you hear in your ears. Have you ever noticed when you're completely quiet, there's a sound in your ears? And you can actually meditate and breathe to that sound. It's pretty awesome. I told a Tibetan Buddhist monk that once, and he didn't know it. You know, that sound in your ears, and oh, what a good idea, he said. So anyway, of course, obviously, the food you eat, low, high vibrations, and you can ask in your own meditations, what is good for you, and wait for the answer from your heart. Like, I'm not advocating veganism or vegetarianism, but we do know that meats have a much lower vibration. I always used to wonder why after Thanksgiving, after eating turkey, everybody fell asleep. Well, that's because aside from the fact that they ate too much, it has a lot of tryptophan and it makes you very sleepy. So just be aware of all these things, how simple they are to take care of your body, because you've chosen here. This is your home now, even though I'm sure most of you on this call are star seeds and time players, etc. So, and here's another one that's so obvious that fits with gratefulness, is appreciating beauty. And the inner beauty and the outer beauty of people, of landscapes, of animals, and acknowledge it. Keep it around you. It's important. Probably one of the most important things. They always say that, you know, maybe this is an old wives' tale or something, but I don't think so. When you get to those pearly gates and then they say, did you appreciate beauty? It's one of the first questions. How did you love? How did you appreciate beauty? So think about that. And then be mindful. Of course, there's a big movement toward mindfulness, but be aware of your thoughts and how they influence the environment around you. For instance, if you're in a very negative mood, you're sending that out to it's inside you and you're sending it out to others. And then perhaps comes along a big lesson for you right away. And if you reflect back, why did I get this now? Why did this happen? Reflect back on what you were thinking about, because it often manifests as something you don't necessarily want to deal with. And I have a special tree in the forest that I go to. It's a beech tree. It's absolutely gorgeous. And her name, it's a she, her name is Folara. And I sit at her base and with my back against her, if I'm not hugging her, and she gives me visions and wisdom and sometimes words, but mostly visions. Now, I was sitting there one day when the Aboriginal people were opening up the box on Uluru in Australia. Do any of you remember that, or did you participate? Well, I tuned into that, and it was raining, and I was sitting at the base of Folara with my umbrella and meditating and sending positive energy, because that was the beginning of a big opening of a portal. And somebody walked by, and I'm sure she thought I was completely bonkers, but it didn't matter. So find a tree and talk to them. They know everything. They're record keepers. The older, the better, but the young ones have a little bit of wisdom too, like kids. And then, yeah, this will go with the exercise we're going to do, but at the end of this talk, before we do the meditation, please be aware of something that you'd like to let go of. Be not thinking, go into your heart. What would you like to let go of? A belief, a pattern, a person, a situation, a habit, anything. So be conscious of that, because we're going to do a really powerful exercise at the end of this. So let me just see. Okay, now oh, and of course, crystals help too. We're going to do an exercise in a minute on boundaries, because that's something that we all need help with, especially now. Not to put a judgment on it, but some people have experienced very real shedding from vaccinated people if they're not protected. I did once, got the world's worst headache, and I never get headaches, and stiff neck. And I thought, oh my God. And I had even asked, please, I know she's been vaxxed. Yeah, protect me. And something was missing. I wear 2 crystals. I wear a shungite and a black tourmaline, and a new one. I'll get it, just a second. It's in here. I got a great bra. It's called Dragon's Blood, and it's a triquetera. It's a Celtic
nice.
symbol, and it's absolutely incredibly powerful. I actually need to check the vibration of it. Just a minute. I've got it right here. I think it's probably, we're real natural here on the dirt. Let's see. Yeah, thought so. 100 billion. Now, of course, the earth here, I'm on a vortex too, but this is one powerful stone. So.
Yeah, and the Celts, the Celtics, the Druids, they not worshipped, I should say, but they utilized the power of the oak trees, especially the oaks. And there's oak
Absolutely.
trees all around our property. They are really powerful.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, they're probably, we have a lot of oaks here too, but I was drawn to this beech tree. And then she told me her name, and I was just, wow, this is my tree. So
That's awesome.
yeah, try it, everybody.
Where did you get this crystal, well, not crystal, the one that you just showed?
Triquetera. On the internet, it was, do you remember the name? Stones, and
you can send it to them.
yeah, you know what? I'll send it to Ali, and she can publish it. Yeah.
Thank you.
They had a bunch of different stones in this triquetera shape, which Celtically is a very powerful symbol anyway, this triquetera. So there are many shops in Ireland and Scotland that sell those, jewelry, etc. So, okay. So now we're going to do a boundaries exercise. So if everyone would plant your feet, close your eyes, and I want you to take 5 deep breaths way down into your belly. That's my husband calling the cats for dinner. Okay. And I'd like you to see before you a golden rose right at the level of your solar plexus. About, a yard away. And I'd like you to plant that rose the same amount of space on your right-hand side and your left-hand side, over top of you and underneath you. at all times a yard away from your body. So I'll give you a minute to visualize that. Feel it or imagine it, whatever your method is. And that golden rose is going to capture everything that you're ready to let go of. It like a vacuum cleaner, it will suck it off of you in all directions, front, back, sides, top, and bottom. Especially from your etheric aura. And now throw that rose away. All those roses, throw them away to the universe. Now ask a new golden rose to come the same distance, the same places all around you. And I'd like you to take, that's going to hold your boundary. I'd like you to take a golden rose and touch to your 7th chakra, your crown chakra, and like suck anything that needs to go from that 7th chakra. Throw it away. Take another golden rose. Do the same thing for your 3rd eye. And throw it away. Take another gold rose. Do that for your throat. This is a big one, obviously. Move that golden rose around your throat. Yes, you may be coughing or choking. And throw it away. Between your heart and your throat is your thymus. Very gently take a fresh golden rose and put it around your thymus. And throw it away. Take another golden rose and vacuum all around your energetic heart. All the layers that hold all the pain, all the sadness, all the anger, all the joy, everything, every emotion is in there. And vacuum it from side to side. And throw it away. Big one here, the solar plexus. Take a fresh rose, golden rose, vacuum the solar plexus. And throw it away. Take another golden rose, vacuum your 2nd chakra, your source of creation, sexual energy, vacuum that. And throw it away. Now your root chakra, the source of all the ancestors, the family, the beliefs that go with that, your grounding on earth, etc. and vacuum that. And throw it away. And as an extra special thing, it feels like we must do this today. Take a golden rose and vacuum your cord, your root cord that goes deep into Mother Earth and attaches to her core to ground you. Clean that up and vacuum it all the way down as far as you can visualize, and even the part that holds onto the core of Mother Earth. Bring it up and out and throw it away. Now, these roses that are all around you in kind of a cocoon, I then usually vacuum all the cocoon that is inside of them, anything else that may have come out to be let go of, all the way around you, up your spine and all around your body. And throw them away. Now, this is one of the highest ways that you can protect your vibration, by having good boundaries. And most empaths have the most trouble with this one. I'm one. Yeah. When you're ready, you can come back into the presence of this meeting. During the day, after you do this, if you're in a stressful situation, you can reaffirm by just stating it, those boundaries that you created. You won't always be successful. It takes some work, but it's a very powerful way of keeping yourself clean and clear. And of course, one thing that I have not really mentioned is the courage it takes to examine your own life. It's very hard to admit that you may have some issues. And we all get triggers that let us know that we have work to do inside of us. So if someone, like recently, I had a very dear friend that got really angry at me for telling her that, I'm trying to think how to say this kindly, for telling her that perhaps we needed to work separately. And she came back at me really hard with that I should know that that's her issue of not speaking her truth, etc. And I said, look in the mirror. That's my issue too. Exactly my issue. So that's what I mean. It takes courage to look at yourself, at your own patterns, and work with them. How can I clear this? Because that, my friends, is what keeps your vibe up. Clearing the garbage that's inside of every one of us, from our ancestral heritage, from our past lives, all traumas, etc., and abandonment issues that we all hold, feeling unloved or the ability to love or to be loved. We all have that in our core. It's standard issue. And so we need to work with that and begin to realize and to speak our truth. And once you begin to get into that, it does become easier. It's a real challenge, but it does become easier. And it is the very thing. These other things support it, but it is the very thing that keeps your vibration high. So good luck. Okay. And now I hope you like that with the boundaries. That is a very powerful exercise for people that are very empathic, because we're like sponges. We take in what's around us. We have compassion for people that are suffering. You know, some of us back in the days, I used to say, oh my God, that's so sad. I can take care of that for them. Wrong action. It's their journey, not mine to heal it. I can show compassion, but I don't take it on myself. Okay, so
Sherry, do you suggest to do this process daily,
yes,
twice a day? Like, what's the reasonable?
do it with your meditation. Actually do it before your meditation. And then if you need it, just call it back in, like boundaries.
Right.
Remind your consciousness that you're protected. For me, this was one of the most powerful ways when I was dealing with, I was a vice principal, and I was dealing with a principal who was bullying me because I had basically horrible boundaries. And she came in through my hands, which I didn't realize. So in your whole field and all the layers of your aura are things that need to be healed. But if you can protect yourself and choose when you want to take your courage and work on these issues, then you're doing a good job, a really good job. So, and I'm one, you know, man, I had terrible boundaries. So I sucked everything in. And that's been one of the greatest learnings. And it came at a time when I learned this technique when I was being bullied by my boss. And then it stopped and I changed jobs. So anyway, yeah.
Thanks.
And I can, if you don't remember it, I could write this out and send it to Ali so you can have it in form that you can look at. Okay. Now this one's going to be exciting. I have realized, it came to me this while I was getting clear on this wonderful island, that I need to build a labyrinth in the forest down by my tree. And I'm going to have a labyrinth building party where people are going to come for the weekend and haul stones, and we're going to make a labyrinth because it is a nature preserve. So it would be perfect for people to walk. And I don't know if you know that when like a vortex, and this is the way the Sufis dance, their dance where they twirl,
Right.
You go in clockwise, that goes into the body. This particular pyramid, listen to me, labyrinth will have 11 rounds, magic number. and you'll walk clockwise. You're going into your body. You're stating your intention. You're going into your body, deep within. You come to the center, and the center represents where you're connected between earth and spirit. You're the bridge between earth and spirit. Then you stated your intention at the beginning, and then you walk out. And when you go counterclockwise, you're coming back out. So if you can remember that, that's what we're going to do in this meditation. So yeah, I think we need to begin. So first of all, I'd like you to imagine a bench, any kind of bench that you can visualize, see, or imagine. And the labyrinth is in front of this bench. While you're sitting on this bench, you take off your backpack, which is already pretty full of stuff, and you make an intention of what you want to put into this backpack that you will let go of at the end of this journey. So I'll give you a minute. Beliefs, situations, people, anything you want to put in, patterns, words, etc. Issues, no money, for instance, abundance issues. You can hold your heart when you're doing this. It's very powerful. Visualize actually dropping these into the backpack. Okay. And now we're going to walk the labyrinth. And in the middle of the labyrinth, lo and behold, is a pyramid. So before you, you are now entering the pyramid, the labyrinth. You're beginning to walk clockwise, and you're seeing the natural labyrinth in Mother Earth. There's grass beneath your bare feet. There's stones that mark the path. And it's actually wide enough to very comfortably walk forward. No one else is there, just you. You begin walking and walking. Feels good on your feet. And you're repeating your intention to yourself. I'm letting go. I choose to let go of what's in my backpack. And you're walking and walking. You've now completed one round. Moving forward, it's very easy to walk on this labyrinth. The stones are glistening in the sunlight. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. It's very balanced and just right. There's a small bit of wind that's blowing, which only serves to clear your head. That's what wind is. It's head energy, mind energy. And you're walking and walking, repeating your intention and your choice. You've completed now 3 rings of the labyrinth. And you're walking, feeling the breeze on your face, repeating your intention. And of course, it's getting smaller as you're going to the center. So now you've completed 4.5 rounds. And your eyes are sort of half closed. You're observing and hearing the sounds of nature, the birds singing, that represent emotions and feelings. Perhaps you're seeing colors. Maybe you're seeing what I call healing green, spring green. You're walking and walking, and you've now completed 6 rounds. That intention is foremost in your heart. And now you've completed 8 rounds. You're walking and walking. Intention in your heart. And you're at number 10. And you're walking and walking. You're approaching the pyramid. And in the pyramid is a special, beautiful chair, which you can imagine for yourself. Or you may just be sitting on the ground. At this point, in the center of the labyrinth, you have been the bridge that connects heaven and earth, spirit and matter. And when you're ready, you look at your backpack and you realize how heavy it's been to carry all these years. And you are ready to let it go. Make that intention that you choose to let go or to transform or begin the process of letting go of anything that is holding you back from being the best version of yourself. You take the backpack and put it in your left hand, which is your female side. All the way out of the labyrinth, you're going to be asking for balance. So, oh, my cat likes this one. So you gently step out of the pyramid. At the end of this journey, you will put the pyramid down. The backpack down. So you're walking and walking around the labyrinth, counterclockwise. Number 8. Keeping walking with your intention. Number 6. Keeping walking with your intention. Noticing the sounds, feeling the lightness in your heart. Number 4. Keep walking. Keep stating your intention. And you're walking, you're getting close to the end. Notice any colors. I'm seeing healing green. Number 3. Number 2. You're beginning to feel so much lighter. It's like you could almost skip. You feel so light. 2. You're approaching the opening of the labyrinth. And you're finally there. You give a prayer of thanks or a word of thanks that you're grateful that you had this experience. And you leave your backpack outside of the labyrinth. You walk back to your bench. You sit down and you spend a minute just reflecting on what happened. Reflecting how you now feel lighter, brighter, more energized. And you can even check your vibration if you carry a pendulum with you. And you're remembering also your gratefulness to the rocks, to the earth, to the birds, to your own journey, your own power, and how grateful you are. Take a deep breath. And I'm going to check now the collective vibration. We started at 500 million. I will now check it. Wow. 100 billion. My God. Okay, folks, do you see how powerful this is? Yeah, you did it. This isn't me sitting in the pyramid. This is the collective vibration. Anybody else can check it. Be sure to ask that it is the collective vibration. So hold your heart. You will never go back to where you were at the beginning of this walk because you're new. Come here. My cat likes this. No, he doesn't want me to hold him. How did that feel to everyone?
Wow, I got head to toe chills, and I got extremely cold, like there was all of this energy moving and a rush, and then got warm and blissful. It was incredible.
Wonderful.
It was powerful, yes. And I was skipping right before you said, and you can even skip out.
That's great. I don't know if you know that when you get cold, that means that you're pulling inside yourself to heal something. When
Wow, I didn't know
warm,
that.
you're coming out again. So that's a really, really good thing for you, Allie, that you felt that. So good for you. Yeah, it actually can make you cry. It's so beautiful. And I'm really easy to have tears. But tears, I've gotten way past being embarrassed. It happens all the time in front of people. And what it actually does is it allows those that watch, feel it, or see it to become vulnerable themselves. And when you're vulnerable, you can more easily go inside yourself and deal with whatever comes up. So it's a very heart thing. Okay.
Sherry, I actually went into tears myself in the beginning because I felt, first of all, I feel so much peace. This energy feels so peaceful. But when I was putting things in the bag, I just started crying because I'm holding a lot of deep grief. And that just started coming right up. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
We all hold a lot of deep grief
Yeah.
and sadness if we're in touch with it. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much I had to put in my bag either until I started filling it up.
Exactly. We all do, no matter what. But it does eventually get easier. And I mean, for me, it's almost, I don't even almost have to think about it. It's automatic now. It's just flowing out, thankfully. But sometimes it's flowing in too. So
Mhm.
then I have to deal with it. So anybody else?
Well, somehow maybe I misheard what you were saying, but I kind of left the backpack with all these troubles. Anything doesn't serve us anymore. In the pyramid with the intention to annihilate.
That's fine. Yes, there's no right or wrong. I actually wondered that myself when I was given this while I was on Öland, this island. I was given this meditation idea, and I didn't then my brain went in and said, do we leave the backpack in the pyramid or do we bring the backpack out? So whatever you did is your way, and it's perfectly fine. We all
Yeah.
have our own way. So, but do you feel better? Do you
Yeah,
feel
absolutely. Much lighter, much happier, much, I don't know,
Yeah, good.
enlightened.
Good.
Thank you so
Great.
much for this
Okay.
experience.
Do you want to say anything?
No, I'm just very grateful to everyone, to the collective, and to the science of all of you, and to be really here because with the pyramid and with Sherry and you, because I can sense you, all of you, I'm so grateful, so I can cry really.
That's my friend Annette. I don't know if you heard her. She's sitting here beside me. So, okay. Well, that's about all I have for you. Some of them are simple, the little tricks. Some of them are very, very deep and heartfelt, but they'll keep your vibe high. And I seem to be able to now myself with this magic thing, be able to keep my vibe really high. It's every time I check it, it's 100 billion. So it's my magic place, my ability to work with this consistently with good intention, and the love that I feel. So that's the end point. That is the only thing that matters in the end, is the love. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
can't
Sherry. The
see
world needs a
everybody.
lot of love.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Before everyone leaves, if Allie is willing to do that, she had an interesting experience this week that she said she was willing to share. So, Allie, do you want to
Yes,
talk about what happened to you this week?
absolutely. I am in Regina's study group. So Regina's doing treatments for about 15 minutes twice a week. And I rarely drive at night. When I would look at a street light or car headlights, I'd get a very distinct starburst in this vision, kind of ragged and jagged. And then in this eye, the right eye, I'd get a halo. So it was just one big rainbow glare when I drove at night. I did it, but it was distracting. And my daughter is getting her license, so we have to log 10 hours of night driving. So we went out, and for the first time in years, there was no glare. So I came home and I checked it on lamps because it would form the same kind of distracting visual impairments when I'd look at the chandelier or any lamp at night, and it's completely healed. So Charlie asked me, what do you think it is using this scientific method? And the one constant that's different in my routine, my health routine, is the pyramid. And we also discussed my new love of yogurt too. So it's either the pyramid or yogurt.
A real healing. That's wonderful, Allie.
Yes. So it's so nice to see clearly again.
That's
at
awesome.
night. Yeah, thanks for letting me share that.
I think that a lot of these ascension symptoms that we're all having, that is certainly one of them, the ability to see clearly. So you did some great work there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank
With
you.
everyone's help, Charlie and his geometric abilities and that precision, and all of these meditations, these live streams, Regina's study group, her research group. It's just been such a blessing, and I'm just truly grateful. Thank you.
Good.
Oh,
Thank
that's wonderful.
You know, Allie,
Um,
sorry, real quick. They actually I've seen them before with Giza pyramids, but never with a Russian pyramid, but maybe it's an idea. They actually sell goggles that have two small pyramid frames on each eye, and you wear those at night, and it's supposed to, as you're lying down or during your meditation, and it's supposed to enhance your vision.
Wow.
So that would be something
Wow.
to design little pyramid
amazing.
glasses, to wear during your meditation, see how that affects your eyesight.
Amazing. Okay. Charlie, get on that.
I just want to ask
Yeah,
really quick.
well-
what ki-
Go ahead.
Oh, so what kind of group study is this with Regina? Is it like private, or it's part of the healing groups that we were talking about? Hello?
Yeah, I can just quickly talk to that. So I'm starting to do a little bit of a new method of energy work, and I put together a study group of 7 people, although it's basically 5 who have been on more consistently. And we do just short sessions twice a week this month in the mornings, and where I do some energy work under the pyramid. And I have asked the participants to fill out a survey and just observe what they are, what they're observing. So what they're experiencing, and I'm guiding them through a set of questions, and they can also, of course, have experiences that are outside those questions. So I'm just trying to test and experiment with this to see what it does for people, so then I can use those results and potentially develop this further, right?
That's awesome.
That sounds wonderful.
Mhm. And I'd be happy to, I mean, I'm scheduled for one of the sessions anyways. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, and I hope to have more substantial content by then, which I'm sure I will have. And I'll take it from there, and then we're also going to do one of those treatments.
Fantastic.
Great.
Yes, Regina's scheduled for a live stream on 8/28 next weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Yes, so you'll all have a taste of it.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm the guinea pig, and it's been marvelous.
That's great.
All right.
Well, guys, look who came to me in the pyramid. My
Oh
cats.
my gosh,
Yeah.
so cute.
You-
Oh, just calling attention made him leave.
Oh, Erica, you have a question?
Sherry, I just want to acknowledge that I'm feeling pretty high right now. Like you were talking about in the beginning, I feel almost tipsy and like I smoked a joint or something. Yeah, I'll have to listen to the replay every day.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you for that feedback. That's great. And I'm glad for you.
Great.
Okay.
Okay. Are we, any more
Erica
questions?
has a question.
Okay.
Erica.
I don't have a question. I just kind of have a statement. After last week's session, I changed the setup a little bit, meaning I am hanging my caduceus coil from the top. As we found the energies to be stronger that way.
Yeah.
I also changed the wiring, meaning instead of just going negative to negative, going positive and negative,
Right.
straight to the caduceus coil.
Right.
And I also took it one step further, and I'm going to try and climb out of here real quick. I am running the 3 frequencies, the 222, 333, and 444. Let's see, how do I flip the camera here? And I'm noticing a huge difference is what I'm trying to get at.
Nice.
I'm trying to flip my camera. Whoops, what did I do? How do I flip my camera now? Let me turn her this way. Maybe that's easier. There we go. Okay. But what I did here is I actually hooked each wire onto a separate.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes. So instead of having them together, I hooked them up separately.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes a difference. I mean, in general, I just noticed the energies being a lot stronger.
Okay. Cool.
So
Wonderful.
just a side note.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice side note.
Yeah, keep us updated on your experiences with that.
Will do. Thank you for letting me share.
Sure. I want to again say thank you so much to everybody for supporting me and Charlie and Lisa and Ali and everybody with these wonderful, wonderful things here.
Well, thank you for being with us today.
This
Thank
opportunity.
you so much.
It's always wonderful to have
Regina.
you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Yeah, so again, thank you, Sherry. I just, I really wanted to also add this. Sorry, I didn't say before, it was wonderful. Thank you so much. I love these exercises that we can then also do by ourselves.
Yes.
So I'm gonna think of one as well in addition to the treatment we're gonna do next time. Thanks for inspiring me to do that. I also just quickly wanted to mention, I filled out my first entire sheet of measurements. I'm gonna share that with you, Charlie. And
Oh, thank you so much.
Wonderful.
I started doing this on July 9th. I have a few days when I was traveling, I didn't have my pyramid, so those are not on. But I've basically measured almost every day before and after, doing different activities in the pyramid, including our study sessions. So
Cool.
I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to start a new one.
Thank you. Can't wait to get it.
Great. Okay, and if anybody'd like that exercise for boundaries with the rows, it's pretty easy to remember, but I will be glad to send it to Ali and she can
Great.
make it available.
Yeah. Yeah, okay,
Perfect.
sounds great.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you all for being with us today. And let's see, Regina's next week, right?
Regina is next week.
Okay, we look forward to
Yes.
having Regina as our guest next Saturday, the 28th. Now,
Yes,
is that at 10 a.m. or is that going to be in the evening?
so
Okay.
Ali, we had said 7 p.m., but I'm actually not having, I could also do 10 a.m. if that's better for people. No. it
What would
turns
you
out.
like to do?
What is best for everybody? Like, if you could just raise your hand real quick if you prefer 10 a.m. We have a few. I
What-
think that
what-
might be the majority almost.
What time zone is that? 10 a.m.
Eastern, sorry, like today.
Okay, yeah, 10.
I think that's most people, if I saw that right.
Yeah,
So let's just do 10 a.m. then.
okay.
10 a.m. Okay, I will change
Yeah, I
that.
wasn't sure whether that would work for me, but it will. Thank
Okay.
you.
Awesome.
Great.
Are we
Awesome.
doing a love
Thanks,
class
everyone.
as well this week,
Yes.
Lisa? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, am I?
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll be 7:33 this week.
Yeah.
Is that right? The evening.
7:33
Yeah.
p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah, these are the ones that always make me cry.
Mm.
Well, this time it's going to be, I think, even more powerful because I'm going to record it with music. So then I can play that during, and we won't get interrupted by my dogs barking or mail deliveries or things like that either.
Okay,
Cool.
great.
We might just ascend and right on the spot then.
Mhm.
There you go.
Right.
There's no, because it's so
Absolutely.
powerful with
Be fun.
all those little glitches.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Sherry.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Sherry, Lisa.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Have a good week.
Everybody have a good week. Yes. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.